Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, President Trump issues a warning to Russia after their deadly offensive on the Ukrainian capital. And as folks continue to mourn the death of Pope Francis, we hear from a U.S. cardinal about his thoughts regarding the upcoming conclave.
We had temperatures in the 70s and 80s today, and rain and thunderstorms pushed through. Now the question is, how long will it last? Details coming up.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening. I'm Caroline Mueller. President Trump sent a message to Vladimir Putin, telling the Russian president over social media to stop military strikes on Ukraine's capital. As CBS's Erica Brown reports from the White House, it was the latest push to bring the two sides to a deal.
Even as peace efforts continue, Russia pounded the Ukrainian capital. A barrage of missile and drone attacks overnight killed at least 12 people. President Trump has been pressuring Ukraine to agree to a ceasefire, but after Russia's assault, he had a message for Vladimir Putin, telling the Russian president in a social media post, "Not necessary and very bad timing. Vladimir, stop."
Today you told Vladimir Putin to stop with the attacks. Do you think he'll listen to you? I do.
Meeting with the Prime Minister of Norway at the White House, Trump said he believes both sides want peace.
There's a lot of hatred there. There's a lot of very bad blood, a lot of distrust. But I think I hope we're going to get there for the sake of a lot of young people that are dying.
The White House has said if the two sides don't agree to a U.S.-led peace proposal, it's prepared to walk away. The president now hinting time may be running out.
We have a deadline, and after that, we're going to have a very much different attitude.
Trump is pushing a proposal that would reportedly exclude Ukraine from NATO and freeze the fighting close to the current front lines. He says Russia has made a concession.
Stopping the war, taking the whole country, pretty big concession.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has rejected part of the possible peace deal, which would recognize Russian rule of Crimea. He said Thursday's attack on Kyiv was one of Russia's most outrageous in this long and grueling war. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to let it begin enforcing a ban on transgender service members. The emergency appeal escalates a fight over a controversial policy that has faced numerous legal setbacks in recent weeks. The military ban was announced by Trump earlier this year and would have taken effect late last month. But several lower courts issued rulings against it before it could be implemented. The United States and Iran are set to restart indirect nuclear negotiations this Saturday, with Oman again serving as the mediator. The International Atomic Energy Agency says Iran agreed to allow more inspections to give more transparency to its nuclear program, which it insists is strictly for civilian use. If an agreement is reached, it could lead to the lifting of sanctions, allowing Iranians to engage economically with the rest of the world. The Democratic National Committee has drafted a proposal that would require national Democratic officials to pledge neutrality in all primaries. Chairman Ken Martin wants DNC officials' neutrality to be codified in the party's official rules and bylaws. It comes amid criticism of several incumbent Democrats in safe districts by DNC Vice Chair David Hogg. He has called some incumbents ineffective and supports primary challenges against them. The U.S. Justice Department has terminated hundreds of grants that help crime victims and fight opioid abuse. A DOJ spokesperson says more than 350 grants, which had already been distributed, no longer align with the agency's priorities. The cuts represent a relatively small portion of the grants administered by the DOJ, but experts worry the funding cuts will negatively impact organizations with projects already underway. Testimony resumed today in the retrial of Karen Reed, the Massachusetts woman accused of killing her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, by running him over with an SUV in 2022. Today, the court heard from John O'Keefe's close friend, Michael Camerano, who testified about Reed and O'Keefe's interactions the night he died.
That night they were affectionate?
Yes.
Laughing?
Yes.
Happy?
Yes.
Like a normal couple?
Yes.
No arguments?
No.
You witnessed no bickering, no tension, correct?
No.
Camerano also testified that in the month before O'Keefe's death, he observed the couple's relationship as normal, caring, and affectionate, and had no indication O'Keefe was thinking about or planning to break up with the defendant. Testimony in the trial continues tomorrow. A former Claiborne County, Tennessee Sheriff's Office lieutenant is accused of submitting false training documents to the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission, or POST. Last week, Kevin Krieb with the Post presented findings from an investigation into Lieutenant Ted Brindle. Krieb says he approached Brindle about missing the deadline to submit the Sheriff's Office's 2024 firearms roster. Brindle has since resigned from the Sheriff's Office. Several people are recovering after a chain reaction crash involving a bus and multiple cars in Lewis County. The crash happened yesterday. Deputies say the driver of the bus was dropping a student off. From there, 2 cars stopped behind it, and deputies say a third rear-ended the second car, causing a chain reaction. No students were hurt, although some were on the bus at the time. A group of public health experts are organizing response to concerns about U.S. vaccine misinformation and access. The initiative is called the Vaccine Integrity Project. It will be funded by a foundation backed by Walmart heiress Christy Walton. The Vaccine Integrity Project will consider what's needed to safeguard vaccine policy and use in the U.S. This comes amid concern the nation's health leadership is casting unfounded doubt on the safety of well-studied vaccines and may take action to curb their use. We have had on and off showers and storms throughout eastern Kentucky today, but will it impact Hillbilly Days this evening? Meteorologist Eric Dean joins us with our first look at the forecast. Eric.
That's right, Caroline. Yeah, it will have an impact on Hillbilly Days. If you are going out there, make sure you have the rain gear with you. Now, earlier we did have a stray shower push through over the WYMT studios. You can see it's kind of lit up a little bit here in Hazard. Live pinpoint Doppler radar right now showing some showers pushing through, even some thunderstorms as well. Let's go ahead and pinpoint over towards portions of Harlan County, going into Lee County in Virginia near the Ewing area, seeing a little bit of heavy rain right now. No lightning being picked up on the radar right now throughout eastern Kentucky, just to the west of the Cutshon area, seeing some heavy rain, and then over towards Moorhead, seeing some heavy rain. A little bit of lightning being picked up here on this perspective, over towards the Isonville and Willard area, seeing some heavy rain at this hour. And there's plenty where this is coming from. Take a look here at the storm track, how it's pushing its way to the north and the northeast. So we'll keep the shower chances in the forecast. Temperatures right now are in the 60s and 70s. As we head out over the next several hours, we'll see temperatures going into the upper 60s, low 70s. We'll keep that shower chance in the forecast. Now the question is, Friday, tomorrow starts the weekend, and Hillbilly Days continues. How will the weather impact that? I'll have that answer coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Caroline.
All right, Eric, thank you. It is day 2 of Pope Francis's public viewing inside St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican ahead of his funeral this weekend. As tens of thousands of mourners continue to say their final farewells, we're getting new insight from Cardinal Timothy Dolan, Archbishop of New York, about what he and the other cardinals are up to in the lead up to next month's conclave to select the next pope. CBS's Tony Aiello has the latest from the Vatican.
Some of Pope Francis's relatives were among those who paid their respects Thursday as he lay in state in a simple wooden coffin. Many mourners waited for hours for a glimpse of the late pontiff.
To see the Pope in his simple coffin, it takes your breath away, really.
The Vatican released this image of Pope Francis's tomb. It is marble with the simple inscription Franciscus and a reproduction of his pectoral cross, an image of Christ as the Good Shepherd. As the public mourning period continues, cardinals gathered again Thursday, part of a series of meetings before the conclave to elect the next pope. Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York says it's time to get to know one another.
We listen to one another. There's a nice coffee break where we can chat.
Because Pope Francis expanded the College of Cardinals to represent smaller nations, many of them with very few Catholics, Cardinal Dolan says he's meeting a lot of these cardinals for the very first time. The 75-year-old is one of only 27 Cardinals who voted in the last conclave who is still eligible to vote this time around. He says a lot of the younger Cardinals are asking for his advice.
They're kind of saying, what should we be doing? What should we be reading? How should we approach this? And I'm very moved by that. I feel like a big brother.
Catholics who spoke with us are eager to see who the Cardinals will choose.
Hopefully the church will be guided by God to make a good choice this time.
But before the conclave can begin, Saturday's funeral and burial, when Pope Francis will be laid to rest. Tony Aiello, CBS News, the Vatican.
Cardinal Dolan says, contrary to the politicking that is portrayed in the movie Conclave, the actual conclave is mostly praying and voting. That's why the meetings that are happening now are so important. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, scammers are banking on your digital footprint. How to shut the door before they walk through it.
And we have rain chances in the forecast. How will it impact Hillbilly Days? Details coming up.